nytrafficauthority.com. Greg?
Thank you very much, Christina. Englewood, New Jersey, a town just on the other side of the George Washington Bridge, could soon be the temporary home of Muammar Gaddafi, the Libyan president who threw that hero's welcome last week to a convicted terrorist in the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. This was the scene in Libya, the celebration of Abdul Basit al-Megrahi, hours after he was released by Scotland, outraged millions and reminded many in the West that before Saddam Hussein, before Osama bin Laden, Muammar Gaddafi was one of the world's most notorious villains, known for his support of terrorism. Now he's coming to our area. The UN General Assembly will be held next month, and there are reported plans that Gaddafi will stay on the front lawn of a house in Englewood, New Jersey, that's owned by the Libyan mission. A massive tent could be set up for Gaddafi. Traditionally, he only sleeps in Bedouin-style tents, not houses or buildings, even when he travels. Joining me now is the mayor of Englewood, New Jersey, Michael Wilds. Welcome to Good Day, New York.
Morning, Greg.
How do you feel about the potential of President Gaddafi setting up a tent on a front lawn in your community?
A tiger doesn't change its spots. When we learned that the remorse he had by paying the victims of Pan Am 103, the plane that blew up over Lockerbie, was not done out of remorse, but out of oil or money, it makes you wonder how stupid you feel to then go pick up the guy's garbage on the front lawn while he lives in a tent.
So you feel like the rest of us, but you're the mayor. What can you do? Can this be prevented somehow?
They're making a lot of changes to the property. My zoning officer, my code enforcement officer has alerted me that they're trying to streamline the process here. Simply put, this person is moving in between a Jewish day school, where my children go to school, and a rabbi's home in that community.
We're looking right now at the front lawn. This is the mission right here.
That's right.
This is where the work is being done.
And he should not be given greater privilege than any other person who wants to have a bar mitzvah in their community. But this is as if it's an intermission for everybody to get up during this war on terrorism, which started in 1979, and for this Jewish mayor to now turn around and host this man who, for oil and for money and our State Department's support, is now going to have the privilege of being on your soil. Imagine first responders.
I understand. Let me, 1 second. What can you do? You're a lawyer. You're a former prosecutor. I mean, you mentioned the zoning. Could somebody in Englewood, New Jersey, put up a big tent and sleep on their front lawn if they wanted to? They probably couldn't, right?
No, they can't. They need permits. And the truth be told, our police, our code enforcement, everybody has to consult with this.
Does this make it different? However, is this like considered Libyan soil because it's a mission?
Everything is different here because the federal government and the State Department is treating this as a diplomat, not as a former terrorist or maybe one that is current, because we see the lack of remorse that he had.
All right, so
one of the main concerns that I have is these first responders, my police, fire, and ambulance, have to go there. Imagine in Lockerbie when these people had to pick up flesh literally from the front porches of people's homes. This man created all of these things. He's the progenitor, he's the financier. He should not be on your soil, he should not be in my city.
Okay,
shame on our State Department for allowing this.
Well, look, you're not the Secretary of State, though. You know, a lot of people, I share your outrage, but, you know, we don't call the shots. He is the leader of Libya. There are, I think, since 3 years ago, full diplomatic relations between the countries.
But that's born out of money and oil.
I understand that.
And when he gets to my city limits, he's going to have to deal with the residents of my city who have a great love for democracy, peace, and diversity.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Unlike this man.
Mayor, what do you have in mind? What are you going to do then? Because, you know, we've seen local officials before confront notorious people. Rudy Giuliani, he did it. A lot of people were excited about it with Yasser Arafat. The State Department, they were pulling their hair out. I mean, how far are you willing to go here?
We have a protest that's being organized. It'll be a lawful protest for this coming Sunday. We have the greatest respect for mayors throughout our nation who have stood their ground or sat their ground, as Mayor Giuliani did when Yasser Arafat came to a show at Lincoln Center.
So
this is a measure of principle, whether you're a local, municipal, or federal official. The congressman who sits in that seat was the mayor before, who fought this strenuously, only to find out that they were exempt for property taxes for generations.
Okay, so
4 decades.
Okay, thank you. If he's going to do, if he's coming, if you cannot prevent, if he gets the permit, if he can put the thing up legally, you're going to have a protest. Are you physically going to try to prevent him from going to that mission? I mean, there are limits here.
Well, we are a nation of laws. We respect law. We respect process. But we're not going to stand down while this happens on our back door.
Have you called the State Department?
And literally pick up the crap off of his lawn.
Have you called the State Department?
Have we called the State Department?
Yeah.
Yes. And we're waiting on an answer. We haven't gotten a clear answer. We don't tell people where diplomats stay and remain. We have every right to know this information, as do my police officers and every resident that lives in that city for their own safety as well.
All right. Well, Mayor Wiles, thank you very much. Keep us posted, okay?
Shall
We'll
do.
see what
Thank
happens.
you for, hosting this again. This is a very, very challenging time. This is not the intermission on the war on terrorism. This is a man who financed terrorism. As a Jew, I'm mortified. As an American, I'm embarrassed.
Michael Wiles, thank you very much. And it should be noted, folks, we asked, believe it or not, we asked somebody from the Libyan mission to the United Nations for a comment. They did not give us one, but we will continue to follow this story. As it progresses, we expect much more in the weeks again. But for now, it looks like the plan is Muammar Gaddafi. Remember, he used to be, before Saddam Hussein, before Osama bin Laden, it was Gaddafi.
1986, President Reagan was not allowed over French airspace and bombed the place. The result of that was a 1988 attack on Lockerbie where 37 New Jersey residents were killed. We cannot forget. We can never forget.
Michael Wiles, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
All right, Rosanna?
Greg, Mayor, thank you so much. And coming up on Good Day New York, well, he put the life of a fellow strap hanger above his own. Coming up, we're going to meet the heroic firefighter who jumped across 2 subway tracks to save a man. And something to help you get rid of those tiny veins on your legs and face. I hate when they come here.